motherfucker.
Hold up, I hope y'all watching this shit.
First round, real quick.
The people that are in those training rooms with him know how good he
Because
is.
he just knocks dudes out real quick in the first round.
Yeah, but now we're gonna get a good. I might fuck with this guy. He just, to me,
They're
I thought he was a con artist,
no, they're-
just based off his look.
They're an edge.
Holy shit! What the hell just happened?
What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to G.W.R. Gonzo's Wrestling Room, November 17th, Wednesday, 2021. Got Steve in here with me. What's going on, Steve?
Oh man, you know, just chilling, doing my thing, man. Happy everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day tuning in, man. Got the special guest today, man. Pro wrestler Alex Vincent, man. So shout out Alex Vincent, man. Coming in.
What's up, man?
Hanging out with us today, man. How you doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm a little tired, but
Okay. So Alex Vincent, man, how's it going? Wrestle for the Kokomo Wrestling.
Is that, well, we saw you in AACW over the weekend.
AAC.
Is that where you usually wrestle at?
yeah, I used to wrestle in Indy a little bit, but I took a break. It's kind of a drive, so. And then Shane, he runs the company in Kokomo, man. And he saw me and he's like, "Yeah, we'll have you here." So there I was.
How long have you been in the wrestling business?
Started at 18 and I'm 26 now, so it's been quite a minute now. It's been 8 years and I get hurt a lot, but that's part of it.
How did you get into the business?
Well, I kind of have like a John Morrison story, man, where I used to do parkour and free running and jump and spin and flip and all that fun stuff. And then I was at the park down south and I was doing it. And a random guy walked up to me named Marcellus, man. And he's like, "Hey, man." He's like, "You ever thought about doing wrestling?" I was like, "Well, I don't really like the idea of wearing a singlet and wrestling dudes on a mat." He's like, no, none of that. He's like, the WWE stuff, throw you through a table, hit you with a chair. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, only since forever." That sounds awesome. He's like, "Well, I'll tell you what, man, come hang out with me, my dudes, and we'll train you up." And trained for about a year. And then I got my first match and it was good, man. It was fun.
Heck yeah, man. So you say you've been in this for about 8 years now, man. What keeps you motivated and keeps you going in this game, man?
I compare it a lot to like Broadway or putting on a play, man. It's just the love of performing and something about like even if I'm the bad guy, because I've been the bad guy a few times, being the bad guy and getting booed or being the good guy and getting cheered, it's the same thing. So it just means I'm doing my job well. And the people, man, the fans and the kids and the families that all come out and they love it. And it's still kind of got the illusion for them. And, you know, they're still loving it and seeing them smile makes me smile, man. So that's why I do it.
Did you get trained here in Indiana?
Yeah, I got trained in a company down south. But Marcellus was my guy, man. He was my trainer. He straight hooked it up. Other people, man, I was skinnier back then, I could admit. And I was the little guy, man. So all the big guys wanted to practice their moves on me and like, "Hey, man, you should, try this move." And Marcellus was having none of it. He's like, "Hey, get out of the ring." He's like, "You're going to train with me." He's like, "I'm not going to let you be some little jobber." He's like, "I'm going to get you to be a wrestler, not someone's little guinea pig." So that was it.
So you said you wrestled in Indy, so I know we wouldn't watch you wrestle in Kokomo. It was a great show. Is there any other organizations that you wrestled for or want to wrestle for?
Well, I think everybody's end goal is to be on TV, but I don't think that's mine, man. I like the indie scene. No, and I've only wrestled for those two companies. I wrestled in Kokomo here and then in Indianapolis. And I've gone to shows where I bring my gear just to be as a fan. And then people are like, "Hey, man, we have a spot, if you want to come in." So that's always cool, but that's pretty rare that happens. But yeah, I've never been like a permanent member of more than just one or two shows.
Where did you wrestle out in Indy?
A company called Indianapolis Championship Wrestling.
Okay. Are they still running?
I think that the owner is on hiatus right now. He's taking a break for a while, and then I think they're going to get back into it at a later
Okay.
date. I'm not sure.
We go down and watch WCWO.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about them, man. I actually just got at the last show. I got invited by Brody to. He's like, hey man, he's like, I'll,
Yeah, we
come
saw
out there.
Brody there last month.
Yeah, he invited me to come out to WCWO, so I was like, well, that's pretty cool.
It's
Getting my name dropped like that.
it's a good from what we've seen, and we went there and commentated one of their shows like we did with Kokomo. It's ran by good people.
Yeah,
They got
I've
a
heard
nice
that,
setup.
man.
Oh, Joey Owens has a nice setup there, and yeah, if you're
Yeah,
if you're a wrestling fan, I would say go down there and check it out.
Yeah, I've
Definitely.
heard nothing but good things about them. Actually, everyone talks about how they're probably the top 3 companies in Indiana. So
Actually, I think we're going down there this Friday to watch.
that sounds like a plan, man. If I didn't have to work, I'd go with you. But wrestling don't pay all the bills.
Oh yeah.
It's a grind, man.
So what do you think is the hardest thing about being an independent wrestler and trying to move up into other organizations and getting your name out there?
Well, being likable, whether you're a good guy or a bad guy, man, it's tough because the bad guys, they like to stay in character the whole time, so you kind of think that they're not like sociable, whatever. But as far as difficulty to get from like going from like little nothing shows to bigger shows, man, just put in the work. Like that's the hardest part is getting, I know everybody has a shoot job, a real job they got to be making their money with, and I know it's hard to get free time to go and train and wrestle, man. But if you're trying to make it, man, you got to put that. You got to make time. Like your days off, you got to be spending that time training, getting in shape, getting your cardio up, and getting in the ring, getting your bumps in, doing suplex drills, which are horrible, but you got to do it, man. You got to stay with it. That's the only way you're gonna go up. And that's a pretty cliche answer, but just keep going.
Hey, just gotta keep grinding, man. Keep pushing.
Yes, sir.
So how important is it to have like guys like Brody around and guys like that to kind of help you keep you motivated and keep pushing? Like when you guys practice and get together and stuff, how important is it to kind of have mentors in the wrestling game?
Man, Brody's on a whole different level, man. He's awesome. First of all, I've spent some time with him in the ring before the shows, and he's got a lot of knowledge, man. He's a really smart dude, and definitely kind of locker room leader status. Him and Christian Cash, and Justin, they're pretty big names, man. They like to keep stuff in order and help the younger guys out, help the greener guys, and it's important, man, because if it wasn't for people like that, there would be no one like me, man. There'd be no one like you saw that big Hawaiian guy, right? That was his first match, and Brody was there every step of the way training him, and I helped in a little bit, and it's definitely nice to have motivators and people that are there to help you and help you practice and get your moves in and try and learn new stuff. And people like Brody who've been going for so long, they've got a lot of knowledge and they're able to really get their fingers in anywhere they can and help you out. So it's definitely it's beyond important to have those vets in there to show people what's up.
So how many matches do you think over 8 years? How many matches do you think you've wrestled?
Oh man, I've taken a few too many chair shots to remember all of them, I guess, but I'd say at least 100 some odd. I usually am in little throwaway matches because up until well, I guess when I was in ICW, I was their champion for the first year. But after I lost the belt, I pretty much became what they call an enhancement talent, where it was my job to make the other guys look good. So I actually, I still hold on to a lot of my parkour roots and my free running stuff. So when I take a big clothesline, I can do a backflip, and it makes the other guys look big. So it's nice to finally have this character where I can be like getting in more important matches. Like just this last match in Kokomo, man, I was in a title match against two of arguably the best wrestlers in the company. So it was that was kind of an honor for me, man, because I mean, Shane notices, man. He notices when you're putting in your work. He's like, he appreciated the enhancement stuff I've done in the previous matches, and he gave me the shot. You know, it's like he says, man, it's all about someone giving you an opportunity, and that's what he did for me, and I appreciate it. So,
How long ago did you change characters?
well, I used to be the mercenary. That was the first month I wrestled in Kokomo, and
That's
the
what
second
we.
month.
That's what we knew you as.
Yeah.
At first.
Yeah.
they told
And,
us your name was Merc.
Yeah, man.
So, hey, that's Alex Vincent. I seen it on the shirt. I said,
Yeah,
that's
I
Alex
heard you
Vincent.
trying to correct it in the podcast, man. It was no, it's weird, man, because like you show up and you play your character, and people are like, oh, that's definitely that's Merc, right? It's like Brody, man. That's not. I don't know for sure if that's his real name, but like everyone calls him Brody. You know him as Brody. So
Yeah.
And then this gimmick I just started last month, and then I carried it into this month, and so I think I'm gonna run with this for a while because it's pretty nice, man. It's nice. It's nice having half my face covered because I would rather die than do an ounce of crowd work. So I can hide my face and just you know.
Right. So you're more a fan of the just the wrestling aspect.
Yeah, the art of it, and I know that crowd work comes with it.
Right.
I do. You know, I come out for intermission, but when you're trying, it's tough, man. It's tough to be the good guy with a mask who's supposed to be cryptic, so he can't talk really. And so, like, I just like last month, I came out handing out candy, and then I was like, oh, yeah, great, it's October, everyone's handing out candy, so that doesn't work. And then this month, I handed out glow stick bracelets during intermission, and I was during our match, man. I was trying to let it be about them because they've been having a feud for the past couple months now. So I was kind of staying on the sidelines as far as crowd work and letting them work it, and letting the crowd choose who they wanted to choose. So that's why I didn't do a whole lot of crowd work on that match. But yeah, that's it, man.
Right. So what's one of your favorite matches that you've been a part of, or favorite? It don't even have to be a match, just favorite moments that you've been a part of since you've been wrestling.
I'd say I've got two really fun ones. One of them resulted in me getting hurt, and then the other one was also me getting hurt. So that tells you about me, I was just a wee babe, still wrestling without a shirt because I was all confident, and I was wrestling in a mat. I came out with my manager or my trainer Marcellus, man, and he used to throw roundhouses. And my dude was like the Hawaiian Hitman, bro. He was huge. And after the match, to finish the match, he wanted me to slide a chair into him. And this was my character arc, was that I was going to betray him because he was a bad guy and I wanted to be a good guy. So I went to go slide in the chair, and I was like, nah, you don't need that. You can beat him without it. He turns around, gets speared, and loses the match, right? And he pulls me into the ring to punish me for losing in the match. He hits me with the chair a couple times, throws me against the ropes, comes back, hits me with a finisher. And as he's picking me up, he's like giving me a hug. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He stands me up and holds my shoulders out like this. And he swings one of those kicks at me, right? It was hot. We were working outside. The mat was black. Okay. The idea was for him to kick me on my shoulder around here, and I was just going to, sell my face. Man, I was so sweaty. He slipped off, cracked me right in my head, knocked me out right in the middle of the ring. And I crumbled, man. There was no bump. It was just...
You was out?
Yeah, I was out. And
damn.
I come to as he's pulling me out of the ring. He's like, you got to help me. He's like, you're heavy. I'm like, I can't. I'm dead. So I was like, you killed me, man. So that was definitely that. We still talk about that to this day.
That's one you're gonna remember. You might not remember it, but you're gonna remember it.
I remember being there. And then my second favorite moment is because that's the thing, man. It's like we're all friends. Everyone that wrestles is a friend.
Right.
So we never want to like actually hurt each other. Well, I was in a triple threat match, and The idea was I was going to be on the top rope. I was about to jump, and then I was going to get kicked in the face by the guy in the ring who recovers. I fall out of the ring, which is 8 feet, by the way, from the top rope to the floor. And I was going to hit a table and fall through the table. And it was going to be, the table's there to break your fall so you don't hit your head on the floor, whatever. So we set up for the spot. The third guy's outside the ring. And I get up on my turnbuckle. I take the kick, and I don't like to look, man. Like, I just, if I'm taking it, I'm going to take all of it. I don't put my hands up for chair shots. I take it to the face. So I start falling backwards through the table, and as I look back, no table, and I'm already horizontal, and we're wrestling in a basketball court. So that floor, man, it's not comfortable. So I had no time to react, and I just fell flat on my back from 8 feet up. And the guy that was supposed to put up the table, who was outside the ring, runs over to me. He starts, he's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" I was like, "I'm be down for a minute, man. You better get in the ring and do some work." And I remember that, man. That fall was in slow motion. It was horrible, but it was still a good match.
Yeah. So he just forgot to set the table up, or?
Yeah, we kind of missed our cue on it, man. He got knocked out of the ring, and maybe I was moving a little too fast, and I got up on the rope before he could put up the table, and down I went.
Oh man, hey, part of the game though. It happens.
Yes, sir.
It happens.
So if you don't get hurt, you ain't living.
Right. So what's Alex Vincent's finishing move, man?
It was that move you saw where I threw him up on my shoulders and flipped him off of me. It's Kenny Omega's finisher called the One-Winged Angel. And I was trying to think of a way to set up for it, because it's situational, obviously, because you got to get him up on my shoulders. So I was like, why not just have you beating me down in the corner? I'll just pull you down, stick your head, kick you in the face, and then you're already, in the perfect position for me to slide under. And yeah, man, Kenny Omega is just on a whole new level. So whenever I used to use the Blue Thunder Bomb because it was unique and nobody was using it, Sami Zayn's finish. And then I got in a wreck and I hurt my shoulder, and I can't be lifting people up like that as easily. So I was like, I'll just do something where I just pull you off of me instead of picking you up. And I think it worked, man. That's the first time I've ever done it. I've never even practiced it. I was just like, we're doing it.
let's run it.
He was like, fuck it, let's do it.
Right.
Well, you mentioned Omega. Who are some of the guys you watch and kind of mold your character off of? And
well, obviously there's a Kane semblance. Finn Balor, whenever he does the demon stuff, is cool. But as far as like inspirations, man, you got Eddie Guerrero, who I used to basically have my entire moveset was Eddie Guerrero back when I was able to pull it off. Now I'm fat and I can't do it. So Kenny Omega, obviously. Chris Jericho is without a doubt top 5 of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and super cool. When I met him at a Fozzy concert, and bought a VIP ticket, so we all got like we got to be there for his warm-up session, right? So he was like being super cool, talking to everybody, and I gave him one of my shirts that I was wearing at the time for my old gimmick, and he wore it in an Instagram photo and tagged me in it. I was like, I'm famous.
Damn.
That's cool.
That's cool as shit.
I know.
Yeah, I like Jericho.
Yeah, Jericho's the man.
He is the man, dude. He's man's like 56 years old and still
popping off.
Putting in bumps, falling off of cages and stuff. Yes, sir.
So we, for those that don't know, GSR was at Alex Vincent's last show, and the crowd was pretty lit, man. Hope y'all go check that out. Check out his match. But what's it feel like, man, being in the ring and having the fans going crazy and what's that feeling like, man?
It's a wild experience, brother, especially if you're not used to it. Like for me, I'm used to being the bad guy, so I'm used to getting booed, and it doesn't bring me down because I'm like, oh yeah, you're supposed to be booing me, and you are. That means I'm doing my job right. But when you're getting cheered, man, it's different. It's so much. It's a lot of fun. And the different levels of cheering too. So obviously you've got like the entrance cheering where everyone cheers for you when you come out, and then you do a couple little moves and make the bad guy look bad, and they cheer for you again. But then you do your finisher, man, like that sweet flip, that One-Winged Angel, bro. Like they popped off whenever I did that, and But it was nothing compared to when Damian won. Like his kick, I could hear it from back where you guys were at. It connected hard, man, and the crowd ate it up. And whenever he won, just the overall explosion of people that were just excited for him to finally have beaten Crisis, man, because they've been at it for like 8 months. So it's definitely it's exhilarating, man. Like my heart's already beating when I'm in the ring, because it's adrenaline and I'm moving and working and sweating. But that just doubles whenever the crowd starts cheering for you when you win a match, man, or even when you lose and they're booing the other guy because you're like, yeah, I made that guy look like a bad guy, so they're booing him, which in turn is them cheering me. So it's like a whole round circle. It's awesome, man. It's a fun experience to have them just screaming for you.
Oh, which do you think is harder to do, being a heel or a baby face?
Oh, a heel. Oh no, a face. Sorry. It's really easy to get the crowd to hate you, but it's really hard to get them to like you. It's like when you were in school and you don't turn in one homework assignment, you get a 0. It takes your grade down from an A to a B, but it takes you 10 papers to get back up to an A. So it's kind of the same thing, man. Like being a bad guy, you can get some really cheap heat by just talking crap about somebody's town. Like that's easy. So then as the good guy, you got to do research. Like if you find out that they're going to be crap talking, like if you're in a town with a college basketball team, if you find out they're going to be, talking crap about that college basketball team, you got to come out in the jersey for that team to show that you are on that team. You're for the good guys. And it's different, man. It's tough being a good guy, but if the bad guy does his job right, it makes it a lot easier.
Definitely. So, if you could have one match, man, your dream match it could be against anybody, past or present, indie, big time. What would it be, man?
Oh, well, for exposure purposes, I would have to go against someone like The Rock. But for actual wrestling purposes, I think as far as like for technical stuff, it'd probably have to be Eddie, man. Eddie Guerrero was like, he was on a different level and everyone loved him. And it was nice. I go back and I watch his matches all the time just to learn new stuff. And his crowd work was second to none, man. He was amazing. So I think that would be it for me.
You and Eddie Guerrero in a hardcore match?
Oh no, I've seen Eddie Guerrero in hardcore matches. Ain't no way.
He said no way, dude. I don't blame you, dude. Look what happened to Edge.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not picking my nose. I'm breathing through my nose, and it's causing water to build up under my mask.
Oh, I got
I'm
you.
not gross. I don't pick my nose.
What advice would you give a new guy that's wanting to get into the wrestling business?
Show up for training. Find somebody who is willing to take time out of his training to help you train, man. And like that's the thing. It's exactly what my trainer did for me. That's what I can do, man. Sit down, shut up, listen, pay your dues, pay respect, set up the ring, help out where you can. Promoters are going to notice stuff like that. And like especially for me, bro, when I was working in Indianapolis, I would carry the ropes around my shoulder while pulling in one of the turnbuckles at the same time. Like you never finish paying your dues, but it never hurts to ask for help, and like the biggest thing, absolute biggest thing, listen. Just pick people's brains and listen to people's experiences, man. That's where you learn so much. Like WWE used to have a guy there. He was big for a minute. It was Adam Rose. He used to come out with the Rosebuds, and we actually did a show with him in Indianapolis. And I walked in, and he's sitting by himself. We got 30 guys in there going over stuff, but no one's talking to Adam Rose. I was like, what the hell's going on? So I walked over to him. He's huge, by the way. He's just an absolute tank. But so I saw him. I was like, you're Adam Rose, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, why are you over here by yourself, man? He's like, no one's talking to me. I'm like, man, screw that. So I sat down, sat with him for like 3 hours and talked with him, and he was holding a seminar that night. And he's like, "You gonna be in my seminar?" And I was like, "I'd love to, brother, but I spent my last 20 in gas to get here." He's like, "I got you. You can do it, for free." I was like, "Bet, man." So I got a free, session with Adam Rose, and I mean, stuff like that, man. Where you just sit down and you listen and you tell stories and you listen to stories and you pick up knowledge, and like listening to other people's experiences is the best for learning, man, because they tell you what not to do, and that's more important than telling you what to do.
Yeah, we haven't really been in this wrestling game, as far as doing the indie stuff like too long and stuff. But two things I can say that seem to be really important if you wanna do something in this game is you have to not be afraid to network. You have to take your shots. You gotta go talk to the right people, and respect. If you like you said, like just showing up, being there, taking the ring down, doing shit like that, and then networking. Like those two things, if you want to make it, I feel like are like you gotta have those.
Respect is the biggest thing, bro. Like
right.
When I'm in the ring, if I'm running training with somebody and I see somebody come in, we stop training, we shake hands. How you doing, brother? It's been a minute. How you feeling? And that not only shows my respect for them, but it shows whoever I'm training that's important and that you need to be doing that and saying what's up, because it's all a family, man. So
exactly. And that's what most organizations we go around. It's real fan seems, everyone seems real close and family oriented and stuff. So that's the type of stuff I mess with,
Yeah, that's the way to be. Especially, I mean, if you don't shake hands, you're gonna hear about it, or someone's gonna remember that, and then like imagine if I had never shaken Brody's hand. Like I just lost the opportunity at WCWO just right there. You know what I mean? So if I had never shaken Rick's hand, Rick wasn't there at the last show, but if I had never shaken his hand, I never would have gotten the opportunity to even be in the ring, because I met Rick through my brother, who my brother was trying to train. And I was just like, no, I don't need to train. I'm good, but it was right post-COVID, and I hadn't been in the ring for a while. And my brother, he's like, "Hey, come with me." I was like, "All right, I'll come with you." And there was Rick, and then I got in the ring a little bit and worked around, and then Rick was like, "Hey, man, if you want a spot on the show, I'll talk to Shane." And just because I went and shook his hand that one day, Rick hooked it up, and I got in the ring, and now I'm in title matches. You know what I mean? So it's nice.
Right on, man.
Are most of the veteran guys, like you mentioned, like Rose, you sitting and talking to him and him being cool and letting you go to that seminar, are most of the older guys like that with the other talent?
It's a mixed bag, man, because you got the old heads who are like, "Oh, well, I don't know." A lot of them think that indie wrestling has become more of a circus act than actual wrestling. Oh, you're doing all the flips and spins and the crazy stuff, but you can't even, do a leg drop or an arm drag. And I can, but that's not what the crowd wants to see. I get it. There's an art to it, and you can't just start a match and be doing backflips. You got to build up to that stuff. But at the same time, if you're running, like I don't care what anyone says, man. Hulk Hogan would have made it today. Like his moveset is too basic, and there's nothing wrong with it back then when it was still fresh. But that same style has been going on for 100 years now, and people are ready to see some new stuff. So, and then you've got some guys like Adam, man, who was super cool and was like, yeah, he's like, "What do you like to do in the ring?" And he shot me some pointers, and I actually used one of the moves that he recommended that I use that night in my match. And so it's a mixed bag, man. But in general, like especially at like AACW and Kokomo, everyone there is super nice. Like the older guys, they try to push over the newer guys. And but then I've been to some other companies, man, where like I don't know, people think like, I'll give you an example. Like my very first match was against a heel who'd been wrestling in the business for 20 years, 30 years or so, and he comes up to me for my match. He's like, "All right, brother, this is what we're gonna do." And I was like, "Okay." So I'm just being told what I have to do. My second match was against another heel. He goes, "Okay, what do you want to do?" And I was like, "That's better. I like that one a lot more." Because it opens up the floor for, suggestions. And that's not to say that I just am going to get my stuff in and not do anything he wants to do, but we build off each other. You know what I mean? So if he's like, hey, brother, what do you want to do? I'm like, I'm going to do a top rope drop kick. He's like, cool. Once you hit me with that, I'll roll out and do some crab work. So it's a dance, man. So when you come in and say, hey, this is what we're going to do, and I'm not changing it, then you run into, like, that made my first experience not very good. So, but it's only gotten better from there. People have been a lot nicer. So.
Is that like a common issue that you run into, or do you feel like that's like a common issue among the indie scene, that wrestlers with egos and people not really wanting to work together?
Well, as far as that, man, I can't really say I've seen a whole lot of that. There's people who have a lot of personal issues outside of the ring that end up getting in the ring together, but like, I've had a situation like that, and it wasn't great, and the match was okay, but it's a difference, man. It's like when you go to work, you leave your personal stuff at home, and you're here to do a job. That's the same thing with wrestling. We're here to entertain the people who paid money to see us put on a show, not argue and yell at each other in the ring. So, we can argue when we get backstage, but when we get out there, it's a show. You know what I mean? So.
I think one of the hardest things from what I've seen, if you're a young guy wanting to come up in independent wrestling, is you got to make sure you get around the right people. Find you have to try to find somebody that you can trust. I think that would be one of the hardest things about it, is making sure you pick the right guy or the right people to put yourself with. Because I'm sure there's people, there's promoters and stuff that will take advantage of younger guys. So that's, so that's why I think you got to figure out who you can trust and who you can't, and try to get around the best people you can.
Absolutely, man. Chemistry is a big part of it, and that's why I was so grateful to have Marcellus, man, because he pulled me away from people who were trying to take advantage of me. And I was a young guy, stupid. He'd already been in the business for a couple years, so. I'm just like, oh, look at these cool flips and tricks and stuff I can do in the ring, and I can do all this and I can do all that, but I couldn't put on a match to save my life. So when I'm in the ring and I'm doing my flips and someone's like, hey, man, let me do this reverse choke slam to you. Since you're so tiny, I'll pick you up and I'll slam you on your face instead of your back. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it, because I'm trying to impress everybody. And then Marcellus is like, nope, no, get out of the ring. He's like, this is, if you show them that this is what you can do, this is all you're gonna do. And I'm glad that he did that, man, because if I hadn't done that, I would still be doing that same stuff to this day, just making other people look good instead of them making me look good. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We've been lucky where all the people we've dealt with so far in the independent wrestling have been great.
Yeah.
Darren Kokomo, that was our fourth one that we've streamed and done commentary for, and I have a blast. I've been a wrestling fan since I was a kid, but as I got a little older, I didn't keep up on it as much. I'd watch a lot of the pay-per-views with my dad, but I wouldn't watch it like every Monday night or every Wednesday. Or now my dad, he don't miss a show. He watches them every day of the week. He loves it. He's always has. But I've been watching a lot of the independent wrestling, and you'll see a lot of good matches on there. But all the organizations we work with, everybody seems like a tight-knit family.
Yeah, there's very little drama, and especially in AACW. I've seen some drama in other places, but like I said, once you get in the ring, that goes away. But I'm happy to hear that you've had only positive experiences. It's not rare, but it happens that drama happens and people get in fights, and I've seen some matches kind of flip on their heads, and one person blames one person, one blames the other, and then it causes drama, and then that person wants to get everybody on their side, and the other one wants to get everybody on their side, and it splits the locker room. But I'm glad that hasn't happened in the last couple companies I've been at. So it's nice to see. I don't know, man, because it is a brotherhood. Like, that's the thing. You said you got to find someone you trust, man. Like, it's all about trust, because if my job is to lift you up and suplex you, you got to trust me that I'm not going to drop you on your head. So.
Well, that's like us. We'd have never been at AACW Saturday night if it wasn't for Mike King.
Yeah, Mike King's a beast.
Mike King was talking to Justin on Friday night and mentioned us to Justin. Justin said, like, yeah, give him a call, see if they can do it. Mike called us, and Saturday night we're down there at AECW. So I mean,
yeah, I mean, it was awesome having you guys there too, because it's nice to have some like a good quality video of all the matches, because usually it's just people. Like for me, I went by myself, so I don't have anyone to record my matches. So I just wouldn't have been able to watch that match back. So whenever I found out you guys were going to be there recording all the matches, I was like, freaking yes, dude, awesome.
Yeah, one of the great things about what we do is like we go record all these matches and stuff, and like it's cool. It gives these people like opportunities, man. And if one of these dudes get a great, you never know what could happen. You know what I'm saying? So it puts people's stuff out there, and it gives people opportunities, man. And it would just be awesome to see one of these dudes that we've been with from the beginning, grow, just blow up or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you never know, man.
It would be awesome.
It'd be awesome to see.
Well, like Mike King gave us our first shot at doing commentary at his show, DCCW, and we've done a couple of shows for them now. And then we got from Mike King, we got a relationship with Joey Owens down there at WCWO, and we went down there and done one of their shows. And so, yeah, for our experience has been great because everybody that we've met has been awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits, whether you're recording a show or being in it, man. Like you meet a lot of cool people and a lot of interesting characters. And I'll tell you something funny that happened to me, man. Just at this show is I was sitting out in the crowd, and whenever I'm out in the crowd after my match is over, I'll cheer for the bad guys because I think it's funny. And one of the girls was like, "I'd like to see you get in there and try it," And I was like, my mask is working. No one knows. I don't know what triggered that memory just now, but because I know we weren't even talking about that, it just randomly hit my head, and I feel like I need to tell you guys. It was funny, man.
So where'd you get the mask, man? Where'd you come up with the idea for the mask?
A little bit is loosely based off of Squid Game, with the whole polyagonal, edges and lines. And then at the last show, I had a horrible set of dreads that I bought I bought the material and then formed them myself to make dreads out of alpaca fur. And they were white, which I have black hair, so it didn't look good at all. And then I was like, man, I'm just gonna get some black dreads and I'll put those on the mask because this isn't my real hair. You guys know that, but the crowd might not. So, and then like it looks way more professional than it is. I literally just I use E6000 strong glue to glue the dreads in, and then this is painter's masking tape that you put in your house, so you don't paint over your life.
Hey, make it work, bro.
Yeah, man. Eventually I'm gonna level it up and get a better material for it. But for now, I think it held together. I got drop kick in the back of the head off the second rope, and none of my dreads fell out. So
yeah, we need to get you and Dutch Boy in a match, the Battle of the Mask, because you both got cool masks. So we need to make that happen. Shout out to Dutch Boy Platinum, man.
What is
the biggest reason for the mask was actually because I didn't want people to recognize me from other companies. Because I'm here, I'm doing a new gimmick. So I was like, I don't want people to show up to this show and be like, oh, that's freaking that guy from the other show. No, it's not. Shut up. I'm wearing a mask.
Yeah, we have the wrong name up on the screen.
Yeah, I saw it, but I was like, you know what? That's fine. I don't care. I just wanted to see the match. That's all it was.
On what? Oh, during his match, we had Merc on there.
Yeah. He messaged me and when you messaged me about when I was uploading the matches, your name. When you messaged me, I was just about ready to hit send, and it would have already been on there.
Dude, I was
just getting ready to upload, and I was like, oh, okay.
I seen on your shirt too where it said Alex Vincent. I was thinking like his name must be Alex Vincent because why else would he be wearing a fucking shirt that says Alex Vincent?
Yeah, I'm rocking someone else's merch.
Right. So I was like, but hey, That's what we
Out of
were
all the
told.
shows we've done, I think there's only been one show that the card didn't have a wrong name on it or something.
Yeah, it's always.
Every time we get the card from somebody, it seems like
fail. And like there's always stuff like that too. Like we were all backstage talking about, you know, our matches and our songs and everything, and Shane comes back, he's like, all right guys, just to let you guys know, heels are coming out first, then faces, and that way the heels can get some crowd work in, and then the faces can come in and liberate, you know, and make them, you know, cheer for somebody. And then who else but me comes out first? The good guy. And then Damien comes out second, who is also the good guy. And then Crisis comes out last, who's the bad guy. So he flipped everything on its head. But it never goes the way you think it's going to go. Like, even with Shane, bro, he'll send me a picture of something. Like, he sent me a picture once of the card that we had for the matches. And I was like, cool, I'll get a hold of my guy, and we'll set up a match, you know, over text and phone calls and stuff. And then I get to the show that night, and the whole card's different because people cancel or they're going to be late. And it never goes the way you think it's going to go. There's a lot more planning that goes into it, and a lot of last-minute planning and changes because people cancel, you know, an hour before the show starts. But it's part of it.
Yeah, it'd be hard to put a card together and when you don't know who you have and don't have. And
Exactly.
I know our experience usually get the card about 10 minutes before the show starts.
Yeah, if
Man,
that.
I've had shows start and they're still working on the card where there's been 2 matches in and we don't even know who's the third one yet. But you know what? Those matches usually end up being really good, and those shows end up being good shows generally.
You always that one show, they gave me a thing like 5 minutes before, and I'm trying to put all the names in so we could put the names up at the top. And they're starting the show. I'm still trying to put names in.
Chris.
I got the other guy. Yeah, I got Eric. Eric yelled at me, "Come on, go!" I'm like, dude, you have to hold on a second.
Chris, it's putting the pressure on him.
It's wrestling, man. It's wrestling for you.
We got through it, but yeah, there for a second, it's like, come on,
Yeah.
you got because they gave me the card like 5-10 minutes before the show, but then they started 5 minutes early. So it's like, but hey, we got through it. But
We'll make
what's
it
your goal or end game in the wrestling business?
Man, I think everybody's end game is WWE. I don't see myself there. I don't think that I would enjoy it. I think that my end game is to wrestle somebody that has been in WWE. I came close. I was in a battle royal with Adam Rose, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I got punched by Adam Rose. I'm kind of the big deal. But I never actually had a one-on-one with someone who's been, you know, in the big names. So I think that would be fun. Yeah, I think that's my end game goal. I think I wouldn't stop obviously after that, but I think that would be what I want. I also was close to having a triple threat with Billy Gunn, but the guy that was going to be in the match originally said he wasn't going to be there, and they ended up showing up anyway. I was like, yeah, you better freaking show up, dude. It's Billy Gunn. You're not going to miss a match with Billy Gunn. He'll never forgive you for that.
He never forgive himself.
Nah, dude, oh my God, if I ever missed out on an opportunity like that, like literally my grandma died and I didn't go to the funeral so I could go and have my seminar with Adam Rose. Like, because I was like, I would never forgive myself if I don't go. But, you know, it was also like, I don't want to remember my grandma like that. You know, I want to remember her being happy and vibrant. So that's what I did. And then I went to the show, and she always, dude, she hates technology, but she would always watch my matches on her phone. So I was like, she wouldn't want me to miss the show, especially not with someone like Adam Rose. So I ended up going to the show anyway, and it was pretty awesome, man. I'm glad I went.
What was it? What was it like going to an Adam Rose seminar, man?
Everybody
like?
has their own different things, man. Like my brother went to Rikishi's seminar, and they were just two totally different things. Like, you would think Rikishi's would be a lot more relaxed, man, but from what I heard, he was showing these younger guys what's up. Like, Rikishi's a big boy, and he's kind of old, but he didn't miss a step, and he was ahead of the guys who have been wrestling for 10 years that have been, you know, in really good shape. So, yeah, everyone's different, man. His was he was focusing on chain work, where you go from, you know, your grapple into your arm lock, wrist lock, head locks, takedowns. He worked me till I puked. I'll give him that. He got me.
One of the shows we commentated, Rikishi was on it.
Yeah.
And then the Boogeyman was on it. Samu, head shrinker Samu was on it. So we had both original head shrinkers there. It was a DCCW card back in October.
Yeah.
But and all of them got Rikishi and all them guys, man, they were cool.
They were cool. Rikishi
Yeah.
got in there, stink face somebody. That was
Got to.
awesome. That was awesome, man. You know, seeing that like up close and personal was just amazing.
Well, we have video of it. That's on YouTube and stuff, and it's been seen over. I don't know what we got over
One of our
500
top
views on
view-
that one so far.
top viewed videos, and
I'll be real though, man. I wouldn't want to be too up close and personal with Rikishi's ass. I
No.
feel like.
Well, the
I
guy-
feel like.
The guy that got it was lucky because he had
Yeah.
he had sweats on. He didn't get it.
Right,
he didn't get it the old school way.
no.
Didn't get the whole beef.
I seen somebody on just the other night watching one of the WrestleManias. Rikishi was stink facing somebody, and I was like, "Damn, thank
Yeah.
God he has sweatpants on, cause
And
man,
you know my boy puts on a whole ass match before he does that, so you know it's just the
Oh.
sweatiest ass.
oh,
Hey,
dude." But hey,
making good money to take it.
yeah, if
Hey,
I was-
for real, I would do it. I would honestly, I would do it for free just to say I got stink faced by Rikishi.
would you eat worms out of Boogeyman's mouth?
I don't think Boogeyman's legacy is quite like Rikishi's. So,
Well, we had
probably
people
not.
doing that shit here. And
Yeah,
I
that
was
show-
like, I don't know about all that, man. That would have me
I'd let
pretty
him drop
grossed
some
out.
on my face out of his mouth or something. I don't know if I'd catch one in my mouth. That's a little much for me.
And people in the crowd was eating them, and I
Oh, man, that's
man.
gross.
I was
Tell you,
like,
I'd have got in there and let Rikishi give me the stink face.
maybe that.
I would have.
I probably would have let Rikishi.
That's legendary, bro.
That's
Especially 'cause,
legendary.
you know, I think that he's really getting to the point where he's about to be done.
He's a Hall of Famer. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and so
Rikishi.
it would be like taking a rock bottom or a choke slam from
Right.
the Undertaker. Like taking a signature move from someone like that is something
Stone
you would
Cold
remember for
Stunner.
the rest of your life. Exactly.
Yeah.
Something like that, man. You'd remember
My,
forever.
my dream would probably be getting Stannard. Like,
Yeah,
for
that'd
sure.
be pretty sick.
That would
actually
be my
met-
dream. Like, if I could
I
get
met
Stone
Steve
Cold
Austin.
Stannard,
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
that would
I,
be my dream scenario.
I met Steve Austin at a monster truck show a long time ago, back before I even knew what. I mean, I knew what wrestling was, but like I didn't realize who I was meeting, like the level of fame that he had. He was actually sponsoring a monster truck that was at the show, and The Rock was there, and Kane was there. Well, I don't know if it was the real Kane because he was back then. He was wearing the mask, so. But my recollection was that he was rather short to be Kane. But yeah, I met Steve Austin. Me and my mom took a picture with him, and I took a picture of The Rock, but I couldn't get close enough to him because no one would let me. And then I got a picture with Kane back when I was probably 10. So it's been a minute, but yeah,
that'd be cool.
I still have those are on Polaroid somewhere in my house. I've got them somewhere.
That'd be cool as hell. Meet Stone Cold.
Man, that'd be awesome.
I've seen him wrestle live quite
And
a few
Kane.
times, but I never got
I always liked
never got
Kane a
close
lot.
enough up to meet him.
I always
Yeah.
like Kane a lot.
Yeah, Kane's.
I did always like Kane a lot, man.
Kane's dope, dude.
Kane is
like,
dope, man. I think he should have kept the mask on.
His destruction afterwards was really, really good. It kind of brought out a whole new thing.
Yeah.
But then they did the whole corporate Kane thing, and I was like, that's stupid. I don't want to see that
Man,
anymore.
I don't know.
And now he's actually a mayor or whatever.
He's a mayor
Yeah.
of some town.
Knox County, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Crazy. It's cool though.
Got one?
So what did you say is in game? What was the end game?
Wrestling
To wrestle somebody.
Wrestle
that has
someone that
been
was in WWE. Okay.
Do you have anybody in mind?
Yeah.
Oh. Honestly, man, after sitting and talking with him, I think it would be Adam Rose. I think that I would like to, well, man, like Undertaker, of course, or like Steve Austin would be sweet. But as far as more recent guys, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that because I mean, especially you said you talked to him for like 3 hours, so you have a personal relationship with him. So
Yeah, and
I
it
mean,
was cool of him to
so
give
that
me the
makes it
seminar
mean
for free.
that makes it even mean a little more.
Right, like it would be, like even like for instance, this last match I was in, bro, that was like such a good honor for me because I've only wrestled 4 times for that show in Kokomo, and they already put me in a title match, and only one time before this that I had this gimmick. So, and they put me in a title match with those guys. So, like, imagine I'd be on cloud 9, bro, wrestling Adam Rose.
All right. Do you have anything you would like to promote or plug before we get out of here?
I will tell you that on my TikTok page, I uploaded the video of me slamming that guy, and it has like 200 views. That's all I got. But see, it's crazy, man, because my TikTok, I have like 1,100 something followers right now, and it seems like it's just hit or miss with the videos I upload, where sometimes I'll get a lot of views and sometimes I don't. What am I at right now? 1,143 followers, and that has 158 views on it. So it's hit or miss, man. You never know what you're gonna get.
And
but
that's
people seem to
video
like
from
it,
is that video from the other night?
yeah.
Okay, sweet.
It's I took a clip of the one where I flipped him over my head.
Okay. I know the other guy, Eric, he's on TikTok. Neither one of us are on TikTok.
Man, that's a whole new market, man. You should look into it. You can live stream directly from your phone right to TikTok. So if you're at a match, you can directly live stream the match to your TikTok page. That's what I was going to do this
TikTok's
time. but
hot
my
right
phone was
now.
dead.
What we might have to get on there too.
And we've been thinking about getting into OnlyFans.
Yeah.
No.
Steve. You're in a whole different direction with it. No, it's like right now we stream live
Maybe one day.
on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. But now, like at the show, we just do YouTube and Twitch because Facebook's so damn picky about copyright shit that. And we tried doing it on Facebook, and we'd like mute when the music was on, but that took away from the video because for one, the commentators talk a lot when the guys are coming to the ring, and for two, that means you missed a fan reaction to the guy coming out. So we decided not to do stream live on Facebook for the shows anymore.
You also run into like certain people's songs, like mine's a dubstep song, so it's got like a slow build into like a big thing, and that's when I come out. So if you don't hear the music, you just see me go, So
we tried at that WCW event. We didn't like it, so we was like, from now on, we'll just stream live on YouTube and Twitch for the shows.
Yeah, Facebook's a bunch of dicks, man.
But today, we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and we do a show every day of the week.
Yeah.
We got a sports betting show every morning, and then when we do a sports talk show 3 times a week. And then now we're doing all the wrestling stuff.
Y'all are busy, man.
So we're staying busy.
You got any merch, man?
No. My plan was to start getting kind of a bigger name at this AACW show, and then start getting more masks and selling them.
You should definitely get into merch, man, because I feel like a lot of wrestlers, man, they don't, because like you're selling your merch. If you go out there and you put a good match in, and I feel like merch is one of them things every wrestler should be doing. But like especially someone like Christian, man. Christian could be making bank because everybody loves Christian, right? And we just
got a comment. Is from I think it says Heathen, but it says, "Congrats to Vincent. My cousin Marcellus is proud of you, bro. And someday he's going to find out what all you've learned over the years."
Yeah, that's my trainer, Marcellus, man. That's Heathen is Marcellus's cousin.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm excited for that. I want to wrestle Marcellus, whoop his ass, kick him my freaking head off, man.
Now, was you trained here? Was that in Indiana?
Yeah, that was down south.
Okay,
in,
down south.
Washington.
Okay. So Marcellus is still wrestling?
Yeah, he's still kicking people's heads off, as far as I know. I know he took a break for a while. I think he's going to start up again either next year or the year after. In the beginning of the year, he had an injury and was out for a couple years, but
You know what organization?
I have no idea. I have to get a hold of him. I talk to him as often as I can, but I haven't heard from him for a minute, so I'll have to, especially now that he's talking all that shit, I'm going to have to send him a text and see where he's at.
Do you know when the next your next show is?
I don't. AACW is going on a break, man. We got to find a new building. So Shane was talking about could be as late as April next month or as early as January. I found a building in Tipton. I let him have the information for that, and we'll see if that goes anywhere. But it sucks, man, because that Kokomo crowd's hot. Like,
oh yeah,
they love that stuff, and I would hate to. I mean, it's only 20 minutes from Kokomo to Tipton, but I would hate to see people have to be like, "Oh man, I can't make the show because it's 20 minutes away."
Yeah, that was a great. Yeah, that crowd was great the other night. And I think it came across on our video. I think it came across pretty good. You could hear
it. Did.
Oh yeah, the crowd.
Man, you want a reaction? Go back and watch the end of my match when Damian won. You couldn't even hear nothing.
Yeah,
it was just so loud. They loved it.
Go watch that, man, for real. It was a really good match.
Well, all right, man. Anything else you'd like to talk about or get out there?
If you want to wrestle, train and listen and find a ring, find a school. If you can't find a school, find a person who was trained at a school, like Marcellus was.
If you're looking for a school,
trained.
If you're looking for a school, and I'm not a wrestler or anything, I'm just a guy that's been doing commentary, but I would recommend Joey Owens and Jake Oman down at WCWO, and I think it's White River Wrestling, I think is what Oman is. But,
yeah, those are good people, man, and those companies, they got a big name in Indiana. So if you're wanting to get over, you want to get ahead, go there. They'll set you up.
Yeah, we got lucky and got to see Oman doing some of the training.
Yeah,
we was down there setting up for the show, and dude, man, I was impressed.
It's legit.
It's no joke, man.
It's legit.
I was impressed.
It is legit, man. I was impressed too, man. I never seen nothing like that, I didn't, I've never seen wrestlers train, until
then. The thing, bro, is like, it's weird because like everything, like I always tell people, you won't use like with school, right? They're like, oh, you'll use everything you learn here, and then you just don't. But in wrestling, it's different, bro. When they're, they're practicing and they're rolling from corner to corner, or they're taking 10 bumps in a row where they fall on their back, you will use that at some point. Like you can never take too many bumps. You can never take too many rolls. You can never hit the ropes too many times because you're always gonna try to find ways to improve and get better. So. Yeah, it's the illusion, man. They want people to think that these superstars in WWE and stuff are just born and they just know how to work because it's not wrestling, it's fighting. So they want, people, they don't want to see the behind the scenes and the training and stuff, but it's there. And I trained. I was ready earlier. Marcellus was telling me, he's like, you're ready now, but he's like, I want to make sure. So I trained for another 6 months under him. And then my first match was, who was it? Johnny Richards was my first match down south, and he was a pretty big name in the company anyway. So, no, it wasn't Johnny Richards. I don't remember who it was.
He was one. He was up there.
I get hit a lot.
All right, you got anything else, Steve?
No, man. Just appreciate you hanging out with us, Alex, and.
Hey, I appreciate you letting me on. I've never done nothing like this before, so
no doubt.
We hope to see you at the next AACW event. I think we're gonna be there. Shane invited us back.
Yeah, whenever I find out when it is, I'll be there for sure.
And I think Shane's actually gonna come on the show here pretty soon.
He needs to talk about his career, man. He's one of those people that I'm talking about where you just want to sit down and you want to listen to him and pick his brain. And
just from talking to him a little bit Saturday night, I was like, yeah, we need to sit down and talk to this guy.
Yeah, he's been in it, man. He's been in the ring a long time. So
'Cause that's just like Mike King, man. I love sitting and listening to him tell stories. Like we all
Mike
rode
King's
up
a
together.
genius.
We all rode up together Saturday night. Me, as well, four of us, me, Steve, our other guy, and my dad, and we had Roger, the guy that ended up reffing the last match, and Mike King, and we all rode together. And Mike was telling stories the whole hour and a half trip up there, and it was cool as hell.
Cool as hell, man.
yeah, Mike's a genius.
He's
I
hilarious.
love Mike. Also, the last bit of advice I can give you is don't fall in love with Jordan Bell, even though it's really easy to do. He was the one wearing all white
Yeah,
at the show. He's great, dude. I love Jordan.
yeah.
He's awesome.
He came on the show Friday. Yeah, last Friday.
He was on there.
He was
I love
on.
Jordan.
Yeah, he was on the show the Friday right before we ended up being there. And when I posted that we was gonna be there on social media, he messaged me and was like, "Is this real? You guys are gonna be at Kokomo?" Because the only person that knew them was Justin.
Right.
Because Justin and Mike King had talked, and then Mike King called us and was like, "Yeah." But Jordan's been good to us so far too. He seemed like a real good guy. He came down here in studio and sat and talked to us.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. I love Jordan.
Yeah, he's
I always
old.
call him handsome every time I see him.
Old Jordan.
all right, Alex. I appreciate you joining us.
Not a
love,
problem. man. I
brother.
appreciate you guys having me on.
Hopefully we'll see, like I said, see you at the next show, and even have you back on again if you'd like.
Hell yeah, dude. I'll come back.
All right, yeah, get you back on here when Eric's here too, and have another conversation.
Bet.
Definitely.
All right, man. We will talk to you later.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good one.
Later, man.
You too.
Alec Vincent.
All right, before I end it real quick, don't forget, we're live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. Come join us. We're giving out winners. We're also live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern with G.W.R. Gonzo Sports Room. Both those shows are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Also, you can find both those shows in podcast form on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. This interview today will also be put on the podcast network too. Also, follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. That's where we post all information about our shows, our daily picks for Easy Money, a sports betting show, or all information about interviews. All that gets posted on our social media. So check that out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. Also, check out our merch. Merch store, streamlabs.com/Gonzalez Sports/merch. We have t-shirts, hats, beanies, a lot of different things on there. So go check that out. You got anything, Steve?
Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Make sure you come back. Shout out to my boy Alex Vince. He gonna whoop your ass. You get